Ever found yourself in a situation where you had to negotiate but felt unsure about how to get the best deal? This is where the art of negotiation comes into play, a skill that can be invaluable in a multitude of situations. Today, we're exploring the book Never Split the Difference by Christopher Voss and Tal Raz. Voss, a former FBI negotiator, shares his wealth of experience and techniques within these pages. So, buckle up as we dive into the world of negotiation, FBI style. Our first stop is a technique called mirroring. Now you might be thinking of a physical mirror, reflecting images, but in the realm of negotiation, it's a bit different. Mirroring here refers to repeating the last few words or the key points of the speaker. This technique serves as an open invitation for them to continue speaking, to elaborate on their thoughts, their needs, and their point of view. Let's take a quick example. If someone says, "I want a better deal," you mirror a better deal. This simple echo encourages further conversation, and you gain valuable insights into what they're truly seeking. But be careful not to confuse mirroring with mimicking. You're not parroting their every word, but selectively reflecting their significant statements. It's a subtle art, a dance of words that brings about mutual understanding and rapport. Remember, mirroring is all about listening and reflecting, not mimicking. Next up, we have labeling. This technique is like a tool in your negotiation toolbox that you can use to acknowledge the feelings and emotions of the other party. It's about creating a verbal mirror that reflects their state of mind. Now you might wonder why this is important. Well, when you label someone's emotions, it helps to diffuse negative feelings. For instance, if someone is upset, you might say, "It seems like you're really frustrated." This simple acknowledgement can help to calm the person down. On the other hand, labeling can also be used to amplify positive emotions. If someone is enthusiastic about a proposal, you could say, "You seem really excited about this idea." This reinforces their positive feelings and encourages them to lean more towards your perspective. In the world of negotiations, emotions are not just background noise. They're crucial data points that can help you to better understand the other party's position. So, when negotiating, don't shy away from addressing emotions. Label them. Now let's tackle the power of no. Often we view no as a roadblock, a wall, a negative word that halts progress and stifles negotiation. But Christopher Voss, in his enlightening book Never Split the Difference, challenges this common misconception. He urges us to consider no not as a door slammed shut, but as a window cracked open, offering a glimpse into the fears, concerns, and desires of the other party. Think about it. When someone says no, they are essentially protecting themselves from something they perceive as harmful or not in their best interest. It's a shield, a safeguard. Now imagine if we could use that shield not to block, but to reflect, to gain insight into the other party's perspective. Wouldn't that be a game changer? Voss encourages us to embrace the power of no, to use it as a tool, not just to protect ourselves, but also to understand the other party. It's about shifting the dynamic from adversarial to collaborative, from you versus me to us versus the problem. In the realm of negotiation, no is more than just rejection. It's a signpost, pointing towards the other party's fears and concerns. It's a chance to ask, why? And what can we do to address this? It's an opportunity for empathy, for connection, for genuine understanding. But how do we do this? How do we transform no from a deterrent into a catalyst? The key lies in listening, not just to the words, but to the emotions, the underlying sentiments. It's about asking the right questions, about showing the other party that their fears and concerns are heard, respected, and addressed. So don't fear the no, welcome it, embrace it. Use it as a stepping stone, a bridge to deeper understanding and more effective negotiation. After all, no is not the end of the conversation, but a chance to start a new, more meaningful one. So, the next time you hear a no, don't despair, instead see it as an opportunity to delve deeper. Let's move on to a fascinating technique known as the Accusation Audit. This technique is all about anticipation and preemption. It's about facing the music before the orchestra even starts playing. Now what does that mean? Well, in any negotiation, it's almost certain that the other party will have some negative perceptions or assumptions about you or your proposition. The Accusation Audit is a preemptive strike against those negatives. Imagine you're playing chess. You're not just thinking about your next move, but also about your opponent's possible responses. Now apply that same mindset to a negotiation. You're not just planning your proposal, but also predicting potential objections and reservations. That's the Accusation Audit in a nutshell. The accusation audit is essentially a list of every terrible thing your counterpart could say about you. You know, those accusations that might be floating around in their minds. You jot them down and address each one of them right at the outset. This way you not only neutralize potential conflicts but also take control of the narrative before it can even form against you. It's like defusing a time bomb before it has a chance to go off. By acknowledging the negatives up front, you're showing your counterpart that you're not afraid of criticism. You're demonstrating transparency, which can increase trust and rapport. And by addressing these accusations first, you're disarming your counterpart, leaving them with fewer objections to raise. But remember, the accusation audit is not about making excuses or playing the victim. It's about showing understanding and empathy towards the other party's concerns. It's about taking those concerns seriously and addressing them proactively. In essence, the accusation audit is about turning negatives into positives. It's about transforming potential roadblocks into stepping stones toward a mutually beneficial agreement. So next time you're heading into a negotiation, don't just prepare your proposal. Prepare your accusation audit too. Anticipate the negatives, address them up front, and watch how the dynamics of the negotiation change in your favor. In negotiations, forewarned is forearmed, so always be ready with your accusation audit. Finally, we come to the use of calibrated questions. A key tool in the negotiator's arsenal. These are not your everyday queries. Picture them as open-ended questions, crafted with precision, designed to steer clear of confrontational yes or no responses. Why avoid the binary of yes or no? Well, a yes can often feel like a trap, while a no can shut down the dialogue. But in the dance of negotiation, we want to keep our partner engaged, not corner them or close off avenues of conversation. So, how do we formulate a calibrated question? The trick is in the framing. You want to pose questions that begin with what or how. These sorts of questions are inherently collaborative. They invite the other party to share their perspective, their solutions, their vision. For instance, instead of demanding, "Will you do this?" try asking, "How could we make this work?" The shift is subtle but powerful. Calibrated questions serve a dual purpose. Firstly, they help guide the conversation in the direction you desire, subtly influencing the other party's thinking. Secondly, they give the person you're negotiating with a sense of control. They're not being dictated to, but invited to collaborate. This can decrease defensiveness and increase willingness to find common ground. But remember, the art of calibrated questions is not about manipulation. It's about fostering a sense of partnership where both parties feel heard and valued. It's about creating a space where solutions can be co-created, where compromise doesn't feel like defeat, but a shared victory. So as we delve into the world of calibrated questions, it's important to keep these principles in mind. Be genuine in your queries, listen actively to the responses, and be willing to adapt your approach based on the feedback you receive. In the end, the power of calibrated questions lies not just in the asking, but in the listening, the understanding, and the responding. They're a tool, yes, but a tool that fosters connection, understanding, and hopefully, agreement. So, when in a negotiation, remember to ask, but ask wisely. Let's quickly recap what we've learned today. Our journey into the world of negotiation has been quite an adventure, hasn't it? We've delved deep into the strategies and techniques that former FBI negotiator Christopher Voss and Tal Raz have shared in their book Never Split the Difference. We started with mirroring, a simple yet effective technique that involves repeating the last few words of the speaker. It's a method that fosters connection and encourages the other party to continue talking, offering us more information to work with. Then we moved on to labeling. This technique is about identifying and verbalizing the other party's emotions. It helps foster empathy and understanding, crucial for any successful negotiation. We also discussed the power of no. Saying no is not always a deal breaker. Instead, it can be a powerful tool to assert control and negotiate better terms. Next was the accusation audit. This preemptive strategy helps to address potential negative assumptions about us, preventing them from derailing the negotiation process. And finally, the calibrated questions. These are open-ended questions designed to give us more control over the negotiation by encouraging the other party to reveal their needs and desires. Each of these techniques plays a vital role in the art of negotiation, and mastering them can significantly boost your ability to navigate various situations, be it professional or personal, and that's a wrap. Remember, negotiation is an art, and with these techniques from Never Split the Difference, you're well on your way to becoming a master artist.